Hi everyone, this is Becca from DECO Boko Speaks, and I have the Japanese stationery brand HIGHTIDE, and with us today to describe some wonderful products they have is Yuichi and Plex. And welcome you guys, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys are current exhibitors at the DECO Boko show, and I'm just excited for our viewers at home to get to see more of what you guys are exhibiting this year. So,
Awesome. Thank
yeah.
you so much for having us.
Yeah, no problem. And do you want to just to go in, before you dive into the products, kind of go in a little bit more into the brand for our viewers at home who may not know who you are already?
Well, actually, so we actually started, well, our parent company, High Tide, actually started in Fukuoka in around like 1995. And we actually have two brands, like High Tide and PENCO. PENCO actually takes a lot of inspiration from like American and European retro type actual like stylings. So you'll see a lot of like actual that type of like 50s, 40s influence into some of the actual typography. They actually have two stores in Fukuoka, one in Tokyo, and then we have two in Los Angeles and one in New York now. So
Wow, you're all over.
yeah, a
Amazing.
little bit, little by little, but
A
like
little
we
bit of,
actually,
yeah.
yeah, we try to actually like incorporate a lot of Americanness, even though we are a Japanese parent brand.
Gotcha, gotcha. Very cool. And how did you two get to working together? Because you guys seem like a very good duo right now.
I actually do a lot of like production products and actually had some stuff that he actually was kind enough to have in the store. We have some mutual friends, and then over time we built an actual like working relationship, and now I'm part of the company. So
Amazing. Yeah, and I'm like I know the pandemic has like impacted everybody in so many ways, but do you find that for your business in particular, has it been good or bad or about the same or like
definitely, I would say it's been a challenge a little bit. Not
Mhm.
so much online has definitely picked up, obviously, for like that's just true about every medium. But
Right.
where we're at in downtown, we do get a lot of people actually walking into our place, but it is a
Yeah.
little tough. People are still a little leery, they're still a little cautious, but it
Hmm.
is steadily everything's kind of going back to a new normal, I hate to say it, but we're actually not doing too bad. So yeah.
Vaccine is coming.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like most of us over here are about to get a second shot. So we're
Same,
really
same.
lucky.
I
Yeah.
cannot wait. Well, awesome. And do you want to dive in a little bit into some products you have for us today? I think
Sure.
that
Yeah.
yeah, you have a storage container I heard
We
about.
do actually. So
Yeah.
the first one we're actually doing, it comes in a myriad of colors,
Oh.
but basically, let me show you one right here. We do have a storage container. It's actually made with a hard plastic.
Hmm.
The thing nice about this is that it breaks into four different types of containers, if you can see that. So it
Oh.
actually goes from small to large and actually fits all in one container. People actually utilize this a lot if they are actually like hurting for storage space,
Hmm.
especially with desks. You can just slide it in and have a bunch of different things. We do actually move like toolboxes as well, but this is super easy to divide up things and make it
Totally.
easy for you to place it in the drawer.
It makes me think of those little dolls that like fit into each
Yeah, the
other.
Makaroshi
You know?
dolls. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what was in mind when they actually made
It's
this. It's
pretty
a
awesome.
really
Oh,
great.
I love that.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like a fan. Very cool. And is
absolutely.
that like a popular item? I would definitely
It's
think it is.
actually so popular that we had to move it up a bit because people were like taking them and we weren't being able to like replenish it enough.
Oh
That
wow.
our
Yeah.
caddies are actually really easy because especially in LA, I mean, we do have a little bit more space, but rent's kind of expensive. So you try to make as much space as you possibly can. So these tend to go with any storage containing actually has a
Hmm.
lot of actual like movement as far as like actually being sold.
Yeah, I would think also I'm in New York City and it's like the
Oh,
same
then you
thing
know
in my
way
itty
better.
bitty apartment. Yeah, exactly. Amazing.
Yeah,
Cool. Well,
we actually like a lot, and it comes in a lot of colors. So most of our stuff that we actually offer is in a lot of different colors.
very cool. And it seems very like as you were saying earlier, like influenced by 1950s like kind of modern design. It's
Absolutely. If you even look at
yeah,
like if you look at the actual old storage, the actual way they actually did the actual fonts,
the
it's
label. Yeah, I love that. I
yeah.
was noticing.
They did that
Yeah.
with almost everything that they try to put out. They don't try to they try to use it as inspiration, not actually directly take away from it. So
Hmm.
they come up with some pretty interesting stuff. We like to think so.
Yeah, okay. Well, awesome. Well, do you want to go into the notebooks that you have? Because
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I think it's
So
Penco.
These are the actual PENCO. These are actually extremely popular. We just had a huge meeting about it like an hour ago.
Oh my gosh.
They seem really simple. The really nice thing about these is that they come in 3 different sizes. Usually the main thing is that a lot of Americans, we tend to actually have a lot of oversized things. We tend to actually like want huge notebooks, but there's not like little memo pads. They usually, things like this are usually regulated to like Post-it notes, so to speak.
Right.
And you will just put a Post-it note and you won't actually be able to like put it all in one place. So we can actually use these smaller ones for that. Actually a conversion chart on the actual back, just in case, because there's a lot of metrics that we don't really use here in the States, but a lot of people need to know.
Yeah,
so we actually use that. These are probably one of our most popular things. And they come in 3 different sizes.
That one I would probably get myself because Post-it notes I find incredibly wasteful, and little notebooks like that for idea jotting, you know.
Absolutely. And the one thing about these, particularly Coil, seems to be pretty popular lately only because it lies flat. And right now with binding, the actual like coil itself is actually made out of a pretty strong brass. They made it a really big deal about using copper or brass with that because a lot of the coils will break and bend, but these won't. They made a really good thought when they did that, so that this actually lays and doesn't pull out like a lot of coils do. So
very cool.
Yeah, it's a simple, easy notebook, but it sells really well.
But also, I like the logo too. It's very bold.
Super,
like,
super
I like
simple,
stuff like that.
Super easy, and that's how it should be. Actually, we try to take away from like what they really want. So yeah.
Awesome. I agree. Cool. And then I guess next you have this hard shell case, which on the website looked like smaller than what I was expecting.
We actually have 3 sizes of these, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
so we actually have a smaller one, and then we have a bigger one that we actually use for like laptops. So this is our middle size. This one actually is pretty hard shell. He's actually bringing one of the smaller ones over here. It actually has the compartments like this for things like actually your cases. We actually put a lot of our stuff in here, so it's super easy. The nice thing is that this doesn't really like collapse at all. This is the actual smaller size, and then we actually have one that's made for laptops, like kind of the smaller 13-inch laptops, but those actually work as well. And that's what most of the kids use actually out here, to throw their laptop in and just throw it in their bag because they're pretty hard on stuff. So
I would never do that, but you know.
Exactly. And it's pretty lightweight, so it's not too heavy, but it's still just strong enough that it still won't crack your laptop in any way.
I think that's very, I mean, for me, I always have like little hard drives that would fit really well.
Absolutely.
Like doing video work, like just, you know, accessories.
100%. When it comes to actually like all of my cords and actually my like actual small cams, it goes mostly into this. I particularly like darker colors, so we actually tried like, those are the ones that we can't really keep in stock. But people
what colors do you
really like those? Yeah, I mean, as far as the colors, because we get people that come into the store a lot that they tend to buy the yellow notebook, and then they'll buy the yellow storage container, and then they want the yellow. Like, they're very true about their colors. So
too coordinated. Come on, mix and match, man.
Very much so. More than me. I just basically not that cool. So yeah,
that's okay. It's okay. It's at least they're matched. I don't know.
Absolutely.
That's so funny. Well, is there anything like upcoming this season that you want our viewers to know about, or anything that like? I feel like the design aesthetic definitely sets you apart, but I'm just curious if there's anything else.
I would say that our main focus is that we're trying to actually give a little bit of both aesthetics, because we are a Japanese company that actually is in the States. So even though we do have a lot of like retro-ness to it, a lot of the newer stuff that we're going to get is also going to have a lot of that Japanese influence as well. So we're actually trying to give both to both of our customer base and try to, because we are in America and we realize that. So we're going to actually like give a little bit more of the Japan aesthetic is what the newer products that we're planning on coming out with too.
Cool. Yeah. I feel like I can see your store, I mean, especially post-pandemic, expanding and like competing with like other big brands, like especially, you know, just in terms of the breadth of products you've shown us today. So
absolutely. Yeah. We're kind of like a montage of a whole bunch of different things. And so like stationery and like just lifestyle goods, just so you can get from day to day, is what we tend to try to focus on. Because there's some great companies out there and they do a lot of the bigger stuff, like when it comes to furniture and stuff like that. But we try to do the day-to-day what are you writing with? What are you taking notes with? What are you doing as far as work is concerned to get where you need to go with your goals? I know that sounds a little fluffy, but that's kind of what we think about.
Yeah, but I like that because it's like you have these like a set of guardrails for the products that you choose to sell or feature.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool.
Growing. We're really, really, really happy to be here. So.
Well, I appreciate both of you for joining us. Is there anything else you guys like to leave with our viewers, or the floor is yours? I know, lots of pressure.
No, thank you so much for actually taking us into consideration. It really means a lot. Honestly, especially in these times, it's kind of tough for everybody. So the fact that anyone's even considering anything and trying to start putting their foot forward again, it really means a lot. So just saying thank you for even having this.
Yeah. ありがとうございます. And for our viewers at home, if you'd like to check out any of our products that were shown today from HIGHTIDE, please check out deco-boko.com. And if you haven't registered for the trade show, please don't forget to do so. And with that, that's a wrap. So
awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the West Coast someday.
Yeah, please come through. There's a lot of great places to eat. So
amazing. All right, well, have a good one. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.